Grace to you and peace from God our Father and from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. Our sermon text today is the Old Testament lesson found in Malachi chapter 3, reading verses 1 to 4. Look, I am sending my messenger. He will prepare the way before me. Then suddenly the Lord whom you are seeking will come to his temple. The messenger of the covenant in whom you delight will surely come, says the Lord of armies. But who can endure the day when he comes? Who will remain standing when he appears? For he will be like a refiner's fire, like launderer's bleach. He will be seated like a refiner and purifier of silver. He will purify the sons of Levi and refine them like gold and like silver. They will belong to the Lord and bring him an offering in righteousness. Judah and Jerusalem's offerings will be pleasing to the Lord as they were in the days of old, in years long ago. These are the words of our reading. My dear friends, and our Savior Jesus Christ. It's that time of the year, Christmas season, and you start getting the Christmas cards and Christmas letters. Some of them started rolling in the last week or two. You know, it's always fun to read some of those letters and catch up on what's happening in the lives of our family and friends. It's also fun to look at some of the Christmas cards themselves and how beautiful they are. Now, the design of Christian Christmas cards is pretty standard, isn't it? You almost see some sort of a nativity scene in one form or another. And you usually see phrases and words like peace on earth, joy to the world, and so on them. Well, today we're going to look at a text from the Old Testament book of Malachi. Malachi was the last prophet before Jesus came, and he had some clear prophecies about the birth of Jesus. And since it was Malachi's purpose to prepare the people for the coming Savior, he would have been a good one to design and send Christmas cards. And if he had, what do you think they would look like? In the front probably would have been a picture of a man walking towards you carrying a bottle of cleanser and a scrub brush in the other hand. And underneath it would have been a quote, Malachi 3:3, he will be like launderer's bleach. My friends, Jesus is coming. He's coming to purify. He's coming to cleanse. And so this morning, if you leave with the image in your mind of Jesus carrying a cleanser and a scrub brush, I'll consider my sermon to be successful today. So let's look at our text today and see why it's vitally important that we understand Jesus in this way to prepare for his coming. First quick word about Malachi here. He wrote his prophecy about 400 BC. Like I said before, he was the last prophet before Christ. And in his very short book, he explains the love of God and he calls people to repentance. Sort of sounds like what we do during the Advent season, is to explain the love of God and call people to repentance. When Malachi was a prophet, it was about 100 years after God's people returned from their exile in Babylon. A faithful few had returned to the promised land, and through them, God ushered in the era of the Messiah. And actually, things started out pretty good for them. When they returned home, they rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem, the city, and more importantly, the temple. Unfortunately, their enthusiasm didn't last long, as they considered it more important to build up for themselves some earthly wealth. They began to intermarry with the godless people of the nations all around them. They broke the Sabbath laws. They didn't respect God's gift of marriage. They lied, they cheated, they embezzled funds, and sadly, all of this godlessness also applied to the priests of that day as much as to everybody else. There was a lot of dirt in their lives that needed to be cleaned. There were a lot of impurities that needed to be burned out. And you would think God would lose his patience with the people and say, you know, enough is enough. And isn't that our story too? Are we really all that different today? What dirt do you have in your life? Sometimes the dirt is outward, it's evident, everybody can see it. Sometimes we're ashamed of it, sometimes we're proud of it. And sometimes the dirt is hidden. Do you have a secret sin that you like to sweep under the rug and hide from everybody else? Like the Israelites, you become consumed with building up your own house instead of God's house. God is angry with our sin. God was angry with Israel's sin. So what was Malachi's message then? Was it one of judgment and punishment? It was deserved. It'd be fair and it would be understandable. Now, instead, God makes a promise. He says, look, I am sending my messenger. He will prepare the way before me. In his gospel, Mark quotes this particular verse, and he tells us that it's a prophecy about the coming of John the Baptist. He was the messenger who prepared the way for the Lord. And Malachi continues. He says, and suddenly the Lord whom you are seeking will come to his temple. The messenger of the covenant in whom you delight will surely come, says the Lord of armies. But who can endure the day when he comes? Who will remain standing when he appears? This messenger of the covenant is Jesus. And at first glance, it sounds like he's coming in judgment. And if he does, who can endure his coming? Can you? Could I? We who are impure, who have dirt both visible and hidden, who can endure the day of his coming? Malachi says, for he will be like a refiner's fire, like launderer's bleach. He will be seated like a refiner and a purifier of silver. He will purify the sons of Levi and refine them like gold and like silver. When this messenger of the covenant comes, he does not come first to judge. Rather, it comes first to cleanse and to purify. Malachi says he comes like a launderer's bleach. Jesus comes with bleach, and he's going to get the dirt out. You see, because when you're dirty, you're useless to God. And some things are like that, aren't they? They're useless and they're dirty, and they need to be cleaned out to be useful. I went to use a vacuum at our house this past week, and it wasn't picking up very well. So I thought I'd pull out the filter and check it out. Well, I pulled it out. It really didn't even look like a filter anymore. It was so full of dust and lint and dirt. It was unidentifiable, and it was useless. When you and I are filled with sin, we're useless to God. The ugly, the disgusting, the rebellious, the perverse thoughts, words, and actions, they cling to us and they transform us into something hideous to look at. Useless to God. And so we have to be clean. The other comparison in our reading is to a refiner's fire. When ore is mined, it actually comes out of the ground with a lot of impurities in it. And the process of purifying hasn't changed over thousands of years, just updated a little bit by technology. Basically what you do is you heat the raw ore and the metal liquefies and it goes down to the bottom. And the dirt and the other impurities, they stay on top where they can be removed. And the more times that that process is repeated, the more pure the metal becomes. Unrefined, impure metals are worthless. All of the qualities that makes them useful when they are pure are lost when they are impure. And so it is with us. Sin is mixed into us. We're impure. And that makes us useless. All of the qualities that God would be delighted to see in all of us, all of the works that he'd be delighted to see us do, sin spoils it. And it mixes it all together, making it all worthless. So God had two choices. He could throw us out, or he could clean us up. If he chose to throw us out, we couldn't blame him. Couldn't really object to it. But God in his love chose to clean us up. He did so by sending that messenger of the covenant, his son, Jesus. You and I are cleansed by him, not with a sponge and soap, but by his holy, precious blood that he shed. His innocent, his pure, clean, holy life was sacrificed on the cross for our dirt and filth. By his blood, we're made clean. And God also purifies us through his Son. Jesus took all the impurities from us. The stuff that makes us useless and unsuitable, Jesus took on himself. And on the cross, he endured the fire of God's wrath. All of the impurities were burned up. Trust in Jesus. You've been made pure. God now sees you as holy, blameless, and pure in his sight. You're fit for heaven, all because of Jesus. But also understand this. Even while God has declared you pure and clean in his sight, in his great love for you, he continues to purify your faith. He wants your trust in Jesus to be complete. And so to do that, you will still feel heat in this world. Troubles will continue to plague you. Sufferings will come into your life. And God allows these things in love only because through intense heat are we going to give up those sins that we love so much, the selfishness that's deep in our hearts. Only when the heat is turned up will we uncover what we've tried to sweep under the rug and give it to Jesus to be forgiven. God does it so that your faith will be stronger and your lives of service to him will be more earnest and intentional. Paul put it this way in 2 Corinthians. He said, he died for all, so that those who live would no longer live for themselves, but for him who died in their place and was raised again. Or as Malachi says in our reading, they will belong to the Lord and bring him an offering in righteousness. Judah and Jerusalem's offerings will be pleasing to the Lord as they were in the days of old in years long ago. The priests of Malachi's day were pretty corrupt. They were bringing diseased animals and inferior offerings to the Lord. But purified and cleansed, though, we're told they would bring offerings in righteousness. With changed hearts and new motives and joy at being purified and cleansed, they would bring God their first and their best. My friends, do the same. You know the dirt Jesus has cleaned out of you. You know the impurities Jesus needed to burn out of you. In thankful response, serve God then with your whole heart. Give God your very best. Give him the best of the times that he has allotted you. Give him the best of the abilities that he's given you. Give him the best of the wealth that he has entrusted to you. Make your life and every aspect of it a living sacrifice that gives glory to God. Something I'd like to do during this Christmas and Advent season. We're probably going to be getting a bunch of Christmas cards in the mail this year. Every time you open one up and look at the front cover, I want you to think back to the message you heard today. I want you to picture on the front of that card Jesus with bleach and a scrubbing brush. You see, that's really the reason he was born in Bethlehem. He came to get the dirt out. He came to purify our hearts and minds and make for himself a people who are holy and dedicated to him. He did it so that you would now dedicate your life to him by giving him glory in all that you do as you serve one another in love. The Lord, our wanderer, has come, and he is coming again. Amen.